Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jesse Farrell from AccuWeather.com, Pennsylvania Weather Watchers and Weather Matrix, and it's time to look at today's haul, which is from NAPA. And now the heavy items from the NAPA haul. Number one, the Carlyle brand CJP 400, 2,000 peak amps. 2,000 peak amps and 400 cranking amps. So this is pretty heavy duty item here. It's got your jumper cables, it's got the multifunction LED, it's got the USB port, and also the 12 volt ports for your 12 volt objects in your car. So this is a nice mid-range jump starter battery unit here. And then, alright, next up from the NAPA haul is the Carlyle 550. This is a little bit of a bigger unit, but it's got all the same functions. It's got your jumper cables here, stored on the side, clipped on, you're ready to jump your car. This is a nice little guy to have in the back of your trunk. I recently suffered through some problems where my battery kept draining in my car because my lights kept staying on because the little ding ding, the lights are on button didn't work anymore. So you keep one of these in your trunk. It's a very easy, quick jump start. There's your there's your 12 volt. There's your USB as well, and a couple of digital display options here to tell you what's turned on and off. Carlyle 550, a little bit more powerful than the 400 that we showed you a minute ago. So this is going up in the world here. This particular unit has 2,400 peak amps and 550 cranking amps. That's compared to 2,400 on the 400 model. Alright, this is going to take a little upper body strength here. This is what I affectionately refer to as the big daddy of the NAPA haul. This, my friends, 12 volt, 24 volt. This is the Carlyle 850. This unit will give you 5,000 peak amps and 850 cranking amps. So there'll be just about nothing you can't jump start with this thing. Comes with the 2 GA cables, USB port, 12 volt power outlet, all standard stuff, on-off voltage selective switch, and LED clamps. Now, this is much like all the other units, but we're talking about a lot more power here. And think about this, 5,000 and 850 cranking amps. The 400 model had 2,400, so we're talking about more than doubling the power in this thing. And it is a beast, but you can take this guy with you. It's got longer jump start cables than the other units, which is obviously a plus. And it's got a lot more power. It's a lot heavier too, I'll be honest, but that's the way it goes. It's got a pretty big battery in the back there. So you take this Carlyle NAPA 850 with you, you're good to go. I mean, I have an SUV, and this is almost overkill for me. So you take this thing anywhere, and you're good to go. And again, you know, if you have a power outage and you need to run stuff in your car, or you're out camping, or what have you, or you just want to keep one of these around in case of a power outage to, you know, plug your cell phone into USB port. It's going to last a long time. And there's one more really neat thing on the Carlyle 850, and I believe the 550 has this as well. When you're getting ready to hook up your jumper cables, check this out. This is an LED light on the actual jumper cables. This is killer because how many times have you tried to jump your car at night? It's almost impossible because you can't see under the hood. That's another advantage of the Carlyle 850. What we have today is the NAPA Blue Fuel. I'll say that 3 times fast. This is a rechargeable LED headlamp. So in the case of a power outage, I have been known to wear these things around the house at night. It actually makes it a lot more convenient for you. This particular Blue Fuel has 1,500 milliamps, 140 lumens. So you can see, just strap it to your head there, charge it with AC. It's got 3 lighting modes, high impact housing, so no problem there. It's basically a nice little hands-free spotlight. Also from NAPA today, we have the Blue Fuel Jump Starter. And this is really neat. And again, I can't believe technology has come to this point, but this guy will fit in your purse or glove compartment. You clip those guys to your battery posts if your car battery dies, and you got your own jump start. If you think about it, really, one tow from a tow truck company is going to cost you $100. So you keep that little guy in there in your trunk. This is pretty crazy. This is the Blue Fuel 1000 lumen flashlight. This thing is well, a floodlight, I should say, is what this really is. Let's be honest. This is really a floodlight. But this is really neat. It's got a little stand here. It's got a super bright LED. We'll go ahead and take it out of the package here and show that to you. It's amazing what technology has come to with the advent of LED lighting. Now this is pretty heavy, but it's got a nice stand. You can just sit it on. Turn on the big power button here, and you will see you can too be blinded by this light. This is just pretty extreme. You can see how it's lighting up the room here. I'll turn off the external light for a second. It's like daylight in here. So very neat, very neat. A nice little device to have in your workshop or during your power outage. So that's the Blue Fuel device. Next up is the Blue Fuel lithium ion jump starter, power pack and backup power unit. Now this is a more heavy duty one than the one that we saw a minute ago that you can put in your purse or your glove compartment, obviously. This is going to charge or jump start a bigger battery longer. Weighs about 1.5 pounds, which is 90% lighter than competing brands. It's got a scrolling digital display, 2 amp USB ports. It's got the 12 volt port for your 12 volt items. It's got even USB adapters included in here. It's got an ultra bright LED light with it, lithium iron battery, and it's also checkpoint friendly. So if you take this to an airport, you can bring this portable power pack on the plane and get it through TSA with no problem. And that's obviously a big deal these days. Finally, in the small item category from NAPA today, we have the Blue Fuel 360. And this is one of those flashlights that rotates 360 degrees because of a ball joint. It's got a flashlight at the tip, it's got a flashlight on the edge, and it's basically a cordless work light that you can use during a power outage or out in your workshop. So you get a 360 swivel tilt. It's got high impact ABS housing, so drop it no problem. It's got SMD LEDs, which are super bright. And I believe that is all from the NAPA haul. Thanks, guys. Jesse Farrell for AccuWeather.com, Pennsylvania Weather Watchers, and Weather Matrix.